All right. Hey, movement students. Hey, how you guys doing? My name's Javier, and we have a special guest for you guys this week. We have the man himself, none other than Jeff Driskel. He's a great friend of our student ministry. You guys may have seen him on Sunday morning. You guys may have seen him help out with small groups. He helped out actually this summer leading some small groups, and we've been so thankful and so blessed to have him in our student ministry. But for those of you guys that don't know who Jeff is, I'm gonna let Jeff introduce himself. Tell him about yourself, Jeff. Tell him a little about what you do, and yeah, we'll get started.
Thanks for the intro there, Javi. I'm just hanging out in my office in my house, and looks like you're at the beach, so jealous of you. But so like you said, Jeff Driscoll. I have a wife, Taryn. I have two baby girls, Jensen and Drew. They're 2.5 and 7 months, so we got our hands full with that. I play professional football. I
Okay.
play for the Denver Broncos. Been playing 5 years in the NFL, and we're members at First Orlando. So, like Javi said, we got a lot of stuff going on, but we're great. We're grateful for this opportunity and looking forward to this conversation.
Yeah, thank you so much. Like, I mean, it's awesome that you get to be a part of it. Um, like Jeff said, he plays professional football at the highest level. And Jeff, I'm sure you have a lot going on in your life. I'm sure your schedule's always busy. I'm sure you always have things going on. You have training, you have a wife, you have kids, you have obviously football, and obviously you go to church here, so you have your faith. Can you walk us through a little bit about what that looks like a day in the life of Jeff? Like, how do you manage all of this, all the things that are going on in your life, and still maintain your faith with God?
Yeah, I mean, there's at this when you get to the point where you're adulting, you start to get pulled in all kinds of directions, and
Mhm.
that's kind of taken to the next level with what I do. Live here half the year, live in Denver half the year, so have to be able to balance that. Have to fit in
Wow.
basically a year's worth of um, meeting with family, seeing friends, doing all that. You have to fit that into about 6 months, because the other 6 months is full on, full go football. So there's definitely a lot that goes on, and it's a lot, but like you said, you have to find a way to manage it. And we're lucky to be where we are.
Mhm.
It's a great honor and a great privilege to be where I am. So the busyness is well worth it. That's for sure.
So how do you stay connected to church? Like, obviously you said you are part of our First Orlando family. You are in Denver half the year. You're here half the year. So how do you stay connected with the church, and how do you stay connected with your faith? Like, what are some practices that you do?
Yeah, I mean, ever since COVID started, it's easier than ever to watch online, right?
Yeah.
You can you get the services in. I can watch them in Denver. I can watch them from wherever. When we're in town, we try to go as often as we can. But we're also plugged in with a small group that we've
Hmm.
been meeting with for years, and that small group really turned into a life group. We do life
Hmm.
with this group of people, and it's an unbelievable experience for us, and it really has helped us grow in our faith and walking alongside others. So that's something that really helps us a lot. And
Okay.
so our schedule fills up, but we always try to um, keep it at the top of our priority list, to go to church, to have those biblical discussions, and then also have fellowship with other believers as well.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's great. Like that you're still in life group. I think life group doing life with other Christians is important. Obviously, I think it's great that you are in a setting where not everybody's saved around you. So you always have opportunities to talk
Hmm.
about your faith. But it's always good to be plugged in. It's always good to be surrounded by like-minded believers.
Yeah.
The fact that you're plugged in, which leads me into this the next part of what I want to ask you about. Um, we live in a world where people idolize objects, they idolize people. Obviously, social media is huge right now with constantly looking up people. There are times where I feel like I know celebrities because of I follow them on social media, and I'm like, man, I'm connected with this person. I see everything they post, and I just know who they are, and that's the world we live in nowadays. And And obviously, Jeff, you are at the highest level of your career. You're in the NFL, and you probably see a lot of this. You probably see people idolizing other players around you, or players idolizing money in their lives or possessions. How do you navigate this tension of, I'm a Christ follower, but I'm surrounded by people that may idolize people, they may idolize objects. How do you navigate that, the tension of that?
Yeah, I mean, like you said, in this day and age, it's easier than ever to go down rabbit holes, especially on Instagram. And you see people on vacation, you see people, whatever it is, making all this money, being successful. Even with me, I mean, I'm at the top of, um, the sports world. I guess I'm not at the top of the NFL, but I'm in the NFL. I sometimes
Mm,
catch myself feeling, hey, why aren't I achieving that? Why can't I do that? Why am I not getting this
mm-hmm.
opportunity? So it's definitely easier than ever to do that. But I mean, it comes back to just being grounded, knowing who you are and whose you are,
Mm.
um, which is easier said than done, right? It's easy to do that on Sunday mornings.
Yeah.
It's easy to do that on Tuesday evenings in our case with our small group.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, I mean, I think it's like any relationship, the more time that you spend building that relationship, the easier it is.
Yeah.
And I try to spend time in the Word every day. Try to spend time, even if it's just a few minutes, praying for the day. Praying for um, just things in my life, things in other people's lives, and that typically helps me,
Yeah.
get past some of those jealousy, worldly issues that we run into in
Mm,
life. But
yeah.
they're definitely
Listen.
real, hobby.
Yeah.
It's definitely not easy. People always think if I just had X amount of dollars,
Mm,
or if I could get this job, then I would be happy.
hmm.
It's always more, more, more.
Yeah, that's something I battle with myself. Listen, I'm not I'm not a professional athlete, but in my world, there are times where I hear other communicators, I hear other pastors, I'm like, man, like if I could only speak like them, if I could only be in front of a crowd like them, if I could have the opportunities they have, maybe. And I think it's something we all struggle with. But like you and like myself, there's times where I'll go back and I'll rewatch some of my sermons and I'll be like, hey, I messed up here. I could get better here. And you do the same for you. When you're playing, you're like, hey, I could have tweaked this. So do you do anything in your walk with Christ where you have moments where you're able to reflect on, like, all right, man, this past couple weeks, I wasn't doing what I was supposed to be doing. Do you have moments where you check yourself and you check your walk and you're able to like adjust accordingly?
Yeah, I mean, I think I always have like self discussions, self talk with myself that, hey, God gave me this ability. He gave me this talent. It's my responsibility to use this talent to the best of my ability. And
Yeah.
the more that I can achieve, the better that I can play, the longer that I can play, the more that Christ can be glorified through my talents. So I mean,
Mm,
that's motivation in itself, to go out there and play hard and study and, do all the things that you have to do to have a successful career in the NFL. So I have self-talk, and that's motivation in itself, to go out there
nice.
and play hard.
All right. Well, listen, I don't want to take too much of your time, guys. I hope you guys enjoy this Q&A, but quickly before we leave, I need to know who is the greatest of all time in the NFL? Who is, in your opinion, who's the greatest of all time?
I mean, I think Brady just solidified that, right? I mean, hard to argue. I mean, what does he have? 6 or 7 Super Bowls now? I should know that, but he's got more than a
Six,
handful,
seven?
and
Yeah.
he's done it with multiple teams. He turned the Bucks around in one season. The Tampa's like a
Yeah.
destination spot for free agents now. So I mean, it's Brady. It's
Hey,
got to be right.
you guys, yeah, you guys heard it here. You guys heard it from Jeff. I'm sure like a lot of people in Orlando are like, yeah, yeah. Hey, but we'll be rooting for you, man. We love you. Movement Students loves you, man. We're so grateful for this opportunity for you to share a little bit about what it's like to have football, faith, family, and what that looks like. And I hope that students that you guys can see this Q&A and have some deeper discussions. have a deeper conversation on what it looks like to live a life of managing friends, family, idolizing things in your life, or things that happen, and understanding that the main thing is Christ. The main thing is Jesus and what he did for us. And above all else, that's the goal. That's the ultimate goal, is to achieve our relationship with Christ. So see you guys. Hope you guys enjoy it. And everybody thank Jeff for being with us.
Thanks for having me, guys.